If your neighborhood's anything like mine, where you live has an impact on how you live. In our neighborhood, the trash guys come early Tuesday morning, which means it's my responsibility to get all of our garbage together, put it in the trash bin, and put it out on the curb just before we go to bed Monday night. Now, it's not a really good idea in our neighborhood for me to put trash out there on Tuesday and Wednesday and Thursday and Friday and Saturday and Sunday. That wouldn't make for real happy neighbors. And speaking of our neighbors, I live in a neighborhood where our neighbors have weedless, dandelion-free lawns. They spend their hard-earned cash to kill the dandelions and have beautiful green lawns. So I don't think that the Christian on the street ought to be the one to repopulate the lawns of my neighborhood with dandelions. So I too spend my hard-earned cash to keep my lawn weedless and beautifully green. You know, it's like that in our walk with Christ. Once we know where we live, it has an impact on how we live. Colossians chapter 1 says that we have been transferred from the domain of darkness into the kingdom of His dear Son. We live in His kingdom. He's our King. He rules in the realm of our hearts and our lives. So what would that be like to live in His kingdom? Well, Paul tells us that the kingdom of God is not food and drink, but righteousness, peace, and joy. That passage in Romans 14:7 tells us exactly how we ought to live in His kingdom, righteously, living our lives by the righteous standards of God's will and God's ways. Making peace with others instead of being a troublemaker, becoming a peacemaker, and being a source of joy into all of our relationships. Well, think what it would be if everybody in God's kingdom lived rightly, made peace, and brought joy. Wow, what a great neighborhood that will be. And I think maybe it ought to give us the thought of what we're doing to contribute to God's neighborhood, righteously, with peace and joy. Think about that.